In 3, 2, 1, action. That's how it is, right? Imagine it's not. We're just gonna rip the Band-Aid off because let's be honest, there's nothing more awkward than having to introduce yourself to a bunch of people that don't know you, whether it be in person, in video, whatever format. So I figured a good icebreaker would be for me to tell you 3 of my favorite beauty items that I'm using this winter, and maybe you've used them before. Let me know if you have, and if you haven't, let me encourage you and tell you a little bit about them and why maybe you might be interested in checking them out. I have like troubled skin, but it's on a 1 to 10, I would say it's about a 5. On the really bad days, it's about a 7.5, 8. But I've not had terrible acne issues since I was in high school. However, let me not lie to you, because those days do come up and it's so annoying because I'm like supposed to be a grown-up. So what are you doing here, acne? So here are my 3 favorite items. I could probably give you a list of like 10, 15, 20 items, but realistically, I'm not buying 10, 15 items until it's absolutely a necessity. So I feel like 3 is a pretty good middle ground. Keep in mind, the condition of my skin is like fair right now. I do struggle with acne from time to time, and especially like down on my neck. That has been quite a challenge since 2020. So I have been working on that for 5 years. I feel like it's in a pretty decent place right now, but I mean, you never know, it could change. I hope not, but it could. Item number 1 is this Refi lip gloss in the color Rosewood. I love it because of the cold tip. I know some people are not like super crazy fans of it, but I personally think it feels really good going on your lips. Also, the color is so nice. I have it on right now on my lips. It's like fair, rosy, not too pinky. And also it's not very sticky, which I do enjoy. Cause you know, I have long hair and I have some curtain bangs or whatever they're called, layers. And you know, if I'm driving or moving or walking or whatever, it could get stuck to my lips, and I don't really love that. But this doesn't do that, so I do like that. I don't think that I chose this. I think this came in like a sample for a shipping order that I did with Sephora. So I'm really glad that I got to try this because, I mean, it's a good color. By the way, this came in a really big box that Bella Gerard, who is a fashion editor, sent me for being part of her B-list on Substack, and I thought that was awesome because it had a ton of stuff that I more than likely would never buy for myself because it's so expensive. And this is one of the items that came in that package. It's the Tula Skincare Espresso Energizing Eye Balm in the color Americano. It is fabulous. Okay, let me show you this. You open it, and it's, you know, it's in stick form. Let's see if we can watch. Do you see that? And then that's how I use it. I don't know exactly if you're meant to maybe like put it right under your eye, but it gives you an instant glow and shimmer, and it goes on very cooling. It doesn't have a tingling sensation or anything. This is an item that I didn't even know existed. I'm glad that it does. 100% sure that I'm gonna buy it again. 100% love, love, love. Item number 2. My 3rd favorite beauty product at the moment are these First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Hydrating Pillow Pads. They are amazing. Like I said, struggle with acne, so I tend to not be very like experiment friendly with different products that I see online. I'm very hard to influence. Just know that. I'm very hard to influence when it comes to my skin because I know what a battle it is, and I'm not just about to buy stuff and be influenced and then end up having more issues. I don't do that. So if I tell you something is good for skin, I genuinely mean that. These are amazing. I tend to alternate my use of these. Sometimes I'll use them in the morning, sometimes I use them at night. It just kind of depends. Definitely you want your skin to be clean to make sure that you get the best out of them. But they are so nice. You open them up, there's 60 of them. They're very, very moisturized. So it's not one of those products that you open and the pad is like absolutely dry when you actually need to use it. Very, very good product. Obviously you have to make sure you keep it sealed, but I would definitely recommend. It's very good for feeling awake, moisturizing your face, and just kind of having a base to start your makeup routine. So I love these. Let me know if you've tried these products, what you think about them, if these have worked for you, if they have not. I'm definitely curious. I hope you enjoyed this video. I don't even know what I'm doing with this channel, but I'm having fun with it. And I feel like that's the most important part. Now that we kind of got that out of the way, I feel like it's not as awkward if I tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Josabeth. I go by Jo. Although recently I have started thinking that maybe I should use my full name just because it's a little bit more identifiable and it's not a very common name. So on the fence, but like maybe. I have been an entrepreneur for the last 10 years. I am self-employed with my husband. We own a couple businesses. And I'm currently working on opening a vintage store in Texas. I'm not really sure of the location just yet. Opening the vintage store has been on the table for the last 2 years, but we had a death in the family that was very, very sad and you know, required a lot of medical attention for a very long time. And so that kind of put a pause on things. And then I went back to work as a social media manager at a vintage store, which now looking back, I feel was like the right move without me knowing that it was going to be the right move in a year's time. It kind of opened up my eyes to see what it's like having a vintage store, what it takes to run it, the staff, the marketing. So it's very interesting the way that things work, you know? Now that I've had time, like 2 years to think about it, I'm like, wow, God, Jesus really makes no mistakes. So praise him. I am a mother, but I tend to kind of leave the motherhood aspect of my life out of anything that I post or even share with friends unless they ask. I feel like motherhood can be very intimate. We all have our own traumas that we are trying to work past, generational curses that we're trying to work through and overcome. And so I kind of just try not to blend my motherhood journey with anything that I'm doing in my life publicly or just period. I love to read. I love fashion. I love art. I love music. I love pop culture. I think marketing is amazing in all different formats. I love celebrating people's wins. I love knowing what trends are coming next. I'm just kind of like all over the place. You know, I don't really have like a tiny spot where I fit in. So I'm hoping that this channel will be a good place to home that. What else? What else? Oh, I have been working on finishing my paralegal studies degree for like 10 years. That's a long time. And the very interesting thing is that most people go to school to get the degree to then work in that field. But I already worked in that field without having a degree. So now I'm just finishing the degree to say that I didn't give up, that I kept going, I persevered. And 10 years later, probably more now, 10 plus years now, I got it done. So I'm not gonna go to school this spring semester, but I will be back in school hopefully this summer, if not this fall. Fingers crossed. Huge fan of all things Europe. I love every single country there. I love Scandinavian stuff. I love British things, French things. I took French for about 7 or 8 years when I was in school. And then this last year, I've been taking private tutoring lessons with my tutor called Fred, which I've actually not seen since a little bit before the holidays, so I need to get back on that. Another thing that I absolutely love is being a sister. I'm an older sister by 9 years, and I love it. I love it so much because I feel like even if I could pass one tiny little nugget of wisdom to my little sister, I feel like I've changed something, you know, and she's an adult and she actually doesn't really even need me to give her any advice because she's amazing and I'm so proud of her. But that is one of my favorite things. I love being an older sister, a sister period. You know, if you don't have a sister, maybe I can be your internet sister. I don't know. I'm open to that. Unless you're like crazy, scary, or weird, then count me out. I got enough of that in my personal life. Kidding. I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know what else you want to know. I guess this is where I gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta live my life. So I will see you when I see you, hopefully soon. I'll see you in the next video. That is actually all that I can think of. Anyway, if you've made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to my office. Welcome to like whatever I'm doing. Who really knows what any of us are doing? But as long as we're up and about, it's gonna be a good day. So thanks for watching and cut.